So let me see if I understand this correctly. Prosecutors have charged Lindsay Clancy with strangling her 3 kids. The defense concedes that she did it. Lindsay herself admits it. The ex-husband says the wife did it. The mom testified that months before she told her she wanted to harm the kid. But somehow almost $1 million was raised for her. Legions of chicks are all tribalistically defending her, absolving her of any responsibility. Yeah, absolutely evil.
Hundreds of people, mostly women, have gathered outside of the Plymouth Superior Courthouse to show their support for Lindsay Clancy.
It felt like the system failed her. She was begging for help, but no one was there. I don't know if us being here will make her feel any better, but I mean, she's living in hell right now.
Just wanted to support Lindsay and just say it could be, you know, one of my sister-in-laws, it could be one of my best friends, and it could be me. So just here to support.
We are hearing her. We see that she tried everything. And I really do believe that she went into a state of psychosis.
The crowd of about 200 to 300 people lined the road as Lindsay Clancy was brought into the court.
If I see a man and he's a 10 out of 10 on everything, like looks, personality, everything, whatever, he is at best actually an 8. And I don't know how to explain that. It's just like,
maybe a 7.
How do I know he hasn't done something horrible to a woman?
I know.
I don't. And he probably has. And with women, it's the exact opposite. With women, you can be the worst woman on this earth, and I'll probably still be like,
she's kind of badass in some ways.
But she's kind of, yeah. She's got a point. Yeah. You know, there's probably a reason. There's probably a man
even the worst
somewhere.
Woman, even the worst type of woman is still better than the average man, in my opinion.
Yes. In my opinion. And the best man is just an average woman.
It's just an average woman. Yeah.
Why are men the way they are? Why are y'all like this?
A North Dakota mother is currently behind bars after she allegedly cut all 3 of her children on Thursday evening. 2 of them have passed away, but somehow one of them is still holding on. This is Kaylee Earhart. She's 22 years old from Mandan, North Dakota. Police responded to a home on South Frontier Trail at 5:42 p.m. after receiving a call about 3 children who had been seriously injured during an assault.
Why men are crazy?
3 women were arrested this week, charged with sadistic abuse that led to the 7-year-old's death.
Prosecutors describe a house of horrors inside where they say 7-year-old Jordan Duncan was tied up in a bathtub and routinely tortured. 3 generations in one family were charged in her death Wednesday in what prosecutors called wicked and evil torture.
What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Shaun C. You all may have heard this story about Lindsay Clancy, and I'm going to tell you right now, this shit is horrible. But to me, the most horrible part about this, other than the crimes that she committed, is the fact that you have all these women supporting her. She knew what she was doing. And you're going to clearly see, right? This woman sent her husband to the store because she had believed that she was going to do it. She knew she was going to do it. Now, if this was a man that had done the exact same thing and you flipped the situation around, all the women would be there and talk about, see how horrible men are? Even in the opening clip, you saw that the women there were ready to say, hey, a man who's a 10 out of a 10, he's really less than that. And he's not better than the average woman. But the worst woman ever, yeah, it's probably some man's fault. It's probably not no fault of her own. This is a huge problem. And I want you to stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to actually apply the situation that's happened with this Lindsay Clancy thing and show you this shit ain't just about her. Then we have to look at the behaviors of the women that we prospectively might date, that we might see out there, and see that this thing is just bigger than Lindsay Clancy. We got a lot to discuss. Subscribe to the channel so you get more content like this. Like this video so more people can see it. And with that being said, let's get started.
These men don't want you to have an opinion. They don't want you to have hobbies. They don't want you to have dreams, aspirations. All they want is for you to sit at home, think about what they need, what they want for dinner, their sexual needs, their dreams and aspirations. You can't have none of that. Not even an ounce. And if you do, they feel like they're losing control. They will start resenting you and hating you instead of supporting and loving you like you do for them. Or you're gonna try and, let's say, become a content creator or become a nursing student, and he's gonna hate your guts for it.
Ladies, y'all gotta explain this shit. Explain this to me like I'm a 3-year-old. Because You all want to pit that all men are trying to hold back your dreams, your aspirations, your goals. And every time, there are so many cases where the man has been completely supportive of the woman. Everything that y'all wanted, and y'all still not fucking happy. Y'all still end up leaving. You still end up getting a divorce. You still end up finding a reason why, the marriage was bringing her down. Even when the man was supportive of everything that you all wanted. The thing about this is, you got women just like this sick-ass woman here who is going to see this Lindsay Clancy case and use this as an opportunity to make it like all men are bad and all men are trying to hold women back. You know what the problem is? The problem is y'all listening to women just like this. Women like this having a platform, putting these type of things in women's head. Y'all want to know why? Potentially Lindsay Clancy went crazy? Because she probably was listening to dumbass women like this.
I saw the Lindsay Clancy case, I thought pretty cut and dry. She sent her husband on an errand and then killed her 3 children. Death penalty. And then I saw about half the women on the internet coming to her defense, and I thought, okay, is there something I'm missing here? So I asked my wife what she thought. And my wife, who's a very reasonable and rational woman, said, well, if you look at her diary entries, there's a reason why a lot of women can sympathize with the feeling of being overwhelmed or failing as a wife and a mother, because your hormones can go nuts after having kids. When you also look at the various medical providers she had and the fact that she was on a strange cocktail of 13 different types of drugs, from antidepressants to mood stabilizers, et cetera, you can also suggest that that's probably a bad thing and something to consider. However, this is the part where my wife is a reasonable and rational person, because she still sent her husband on an error while she systematically strangled the life out of her 3 children, and that's evil and deserves to be punished. So one can have sympathy for these other things while still making sure that the preponderance of your sympathy goes to the children who were murdered. By the way, for the women out there that think the husband actually did it, because after all, he's a Gemini and we all know how they are, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. In fact, you probably shouldn't be allowed to walk outside without a helmet.
I have to agree with this wholeheartedly. Her defense is arguing that she had undiagnosed bipolar disorder and postpartum psychosis that they claim was missed by a cast of rotating providers. Now, prosecutors dispute this because she acted rationally, intentionally, and swiftly. She asked her husband to go run errands to have him leave the home. What got my attention was the response from women online. Some women. Because I'm a woman and there's no way in the world you will catch me holding my baby saying, "Me too, Lindsay." Someone get CPS on the line. Notice what's completely absent from these videos. There's no emotion for the children whose lives she took.
Kind of satisfied by the fact that a lot of women are waking up to the fact that feminism is just an ideology that shields the worst women from accountability. Requirement to be a girl's girl is to look the other way when a woman commits a heinous act, even if it's against another woman. Hence why so many feminists, women, and mothers are defending Lindsay Clancy and claiming she needs sympathy and empathy as a woman when she murdered her own daughter too. No feminist cares that Cora Clancy's last moments on Earth were watching her own mother strangle her to death. Instead, they're trying to find ways to blame the only other man in the picture.
Apparently, we need a freaking reminder that women are perfectly capable of hurting and killing their own children. So why don't we go ahead and count them? Number 1, we have Melissa Campos Sanchez, Miami, August 2026. Police say that she poured hot candle wax onto her 3-year-old and 6-year-old daughters. She then lit clothes on fire in the kitchen and danced around until the 6-year-old had to try to put the fire out. Number 2, Kaylee Earhart, North Dakota, August 2026. 3 young children were stabbed. Her 3-year-old and 5-month-old died, and her 1-year-old survived. And she told their father that, say goodbye to your kids before she did it. Number 3, Haley Dempsey, Florida, May 2026. She killed her own mother, then she killed her 4-year-old daughter and her 4-month-old daughter. She then allegedly tried to shoot her 2-year-old, missed, and then killed herself. Sarah Myers and Amy Stedman, New York, June 2026. A mother and a grandmother are accused of murdering 4 children. 13, 11, and 10-year-old twins. Drugs were used and 1 child was stabbed. And investigators say that the planning appeared aimed at keeping those children away from their father.
How do y'all explain that shit? How can you condone any of this stuff? Look, I assume that most people that watch this channel are sensible enough to know that this is crazy. But what I'm saying is, it is alarming as a man to hear this. Because here it is, you think that you found a woman. If you were bold enough, brave enough to even decide that, hey, I'm gonna get married to this woman, she seems reasonable, this, that, and the third, and then you realize Kevin Samuel's words are prophetic. And so many women here are now on antidepressants. And it just seemed like something that was funny to say, or, you know, like, okay, that's an interesting little tidbit. But now that you're seeing all of these women now doing these heinous acts, the things that they claim that we're heinous for, yet they never bring up the people that are doing this kind of stuff, shows you that there is another double standard. Just throw that on the pile of double standards and the lack of accountability that comes from the other side. When we as men do some shit wrong, it is immediate. It is swift. Yet these women are, oh, I'm gonna do a GoFundMe for this woman who unalived her kids. Like, you know how insane it is that she's raised $1 million, yet we can't even get money to be able to like affect elections. We can't even get money to help our communities. We can't even get together and agree that there is a problem right now with our families. Holy shit, man. Listen what's being said about us.
I've tried to record this so many times, and I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I don't know how to preface the video that I'm about to show y'all.
I was wondering why no one thought to say and voice their opinion that when I look at these white men, they are the epitome of masculine, and watching some of these police officers manhandle these black men in the street is very attractive, and it's a turn on, you know? And I'm wondering, does anybody else feel like that?
Hold on. Yes. Y'all off the chain, okay? Yes.
Every 18 minutes, the black guys now go by police.
That's what's up. I think we can get it down to 15.
You don't even breathe in my direction. I will start crying and I will call the police.
Mm-hmm. I love calling the police on. I love it because they tighten up. They turn into a whole different person.
I met a nerdy guy. He's really sweet. We're both ambitious and educated. That's exactly the type of guy I wanted. There's no turning back because they just belong in a coffin.
In a coffin.
I agree.
Even though this is not the same as the Lindsay Clancy situation, these are the women that are raising our kids. These are the women that want to eliminate us, okay? But they want to lay down with the worst of the worst. Then they want to settle for the dude who, you know, who is the nerdy type, whatever. And then she's going to wind up using and leaving him. The statistics say that they initiate the divorce 90% of the time when she's an educated woman. So it doesn't matter if he's educated or not, she's going to eventually get bored and she's going to go back to the streets like she belonged. Back to the same Pookie, Ray Ray, Gloctavius, and Pelantonio. Again, the double standards, they gotta be said. These are the exact same women that are raising boys. They're the ones raising the young men. They are raising men that they hate to be weak because they don't want them to be like the men that they are attracted to. It is crazy, but they keep dating them. And then they wonder why they crash out. And then y'all think that I'm bad when I talk about, hey, men might be hesitant in getting married, right? But then you have women like this who are telling you the quiet part out loud. Why would any man be stupid enough to get fucking married when they are telling you the whole game plan?
You can't tell me divorce is not a portal for women. You cannot tell me divorce is not a portal for women. The way I see so many women who have divorced that are elevating, myself included, with the quickness actually for some of us, is insane. And what it tells you is that...
What it tells you is that you didn't pick the right man, or you are a horrible wife. You only did it for the pageantry. You only did it because whatever, you had that clock ticking, and then you tried to force that man into a situation that you wasn't ready for.
You are a part of a minority group. We do not thrive in any system or institutions. And that is what fucking marriage is. It's a system, an institution to keep women oppressed. We don't
feel any advantages when we are married, when we are in any systems. Now, some of you might disagree with me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, because there are too many women who are divorcing, who are recognizing that, oh shit, that man, that relationship, that system was holding me back.
You married him. You said yes. This proves the point that I've been making on this channel. Women do not know how to select or pick men. Y'all don't. Y'all have no fucking clue. Because if you did, y'all wouldn't be in this situation. If you're gonna blame us men, then that means y'all are choosing wrong. Is it not right? Either you're choosing wrong or you're the goddamn problem.
So I say this, fuck them kids. We love our kids. We love our kids. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that man and move the fuck on, because it is holding you back and you don't even realize it. I've heard enough. I don't need to hear the other minute. So think about this in terms of the Lindsay Clancy situation. F them kids. That man is holding you back. Look at where this is coming from. They do not care about these kids. And then when they do have the kids, they don't care about them, which is why they keep them away from their dads. They keep them away from male influence. They raise them like they besties. And these kids ain't learning shit. All they learn how to do is be a 304. All they learn to do is to scam systems, not to create them, to destroy families, not build them. You got these women who leave their marriage or who've never been married giving you advice about leaving your shit. Y'all are supposed to be so much better, but y'all won't stay. Y'all supposed to be so much better, but y'all continue to make poor, stupid-ass choices.
Boys, we need to have a serious conversation about this, and I mean serious. This is the first time we are really seeing how many mentally unstable women that not only are we living with, but having children with. When I say we need to wake up, I mean we need to wake the fuck up. You need to pay attention to who you're sleeping with, who you're having children with, who you are marrying, and who you're going to sleep with at the end of the night. Because you very well could not wake up the next morning. Not only are hundreds of thousands of women, maybe even millions of women coming out and defending this woman for unaliving her 3 children, they're also blaming the husband. We have seen women with zero accountability forever, but we always make it a joke, like 100 women versus accountability. This is no longer a joke. These women are mentally ill.